Leap Pond Grader.
Hey, it's your girl Jess, Jessica Lopes with Obnoxious Babes TV. I am your host with co-host Steve.
Steve Cash, how y'all doing?
We have a special guest in the house, not one but two beauties, full of knowledge from Allure Realty. We have Ann, Sophie, and Colony.
Hey. Thanks for having us.
In unison.
Yes, thank you for coming. I appreciate you coming on the show. This means a lot to me. As we discussed behind the scenes, I wanted to bring a little bit more of an educational platform to the viewers. I feel like it's very important. It's okay to have Hot Girl Summer, do your thing, but it's also very important to be very educational, knowledgeable, and to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. I feel like a lot of topics are not talked about, and since we are in this awakening, I feel like a lot of people are now noticing like this is important information we need to know. These ladies are very knowledgeable in what they do. They're one of the best in the Bay Area. I would say the world, but
Let's say the world. Let's say the world. Let's say the world.
Say that.
Let's put it up.
I don't want to hype them too much, but I'll let them do that on their own. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Ann Sophie. I am originally born and raised partially in Haiti. I've been living in Florida since 2005, and I've been doing real estate since I graduated college, and I love it.
I love all that.
So fun fact, I come from a property accounting background. So I used to be an accountant, a property accountant, and my job got boring. I didn't like to be behind the desk, so I switched to the other side of real estate, and now I'm living my best life.
So for the viewers, they probably don't know what a property accountant does. So if you could just dive in that a little bit.
So my role as a property accountant, I worked at a real estate investment trust company. So I had a portfolio of sometimes like 10 properties 10 buildings. So I dealt with commercial buildings, and I handled the whole accounting books for those buildings. So anything from paying the property taxes or sales tax, making sure to account for the tenants paying rent. So all of that good stuff.
Oof, girl. That's why she good at what she does, because it's like levels to this shit.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you. So we got her little homegirl, her sidekick. Tell us a little about yourself.
All right. Well, Ann and I, we both work together as partners. I do want to say one thing. It can be a hot girl summer.
Yeah.
But go to work after, okay?
Yeah.
Go to work after.
it's
You
hot
can
girl
do
summer.
both.
Thank
Hot
you.
girl summer, but with real estate on the side.
With real estate on the side.
Definitely
I
handle
definitely
your
agree.
business and definitely have fun. That's what Ann and I like to do. But
We do both.
about me, I'm Colony. I'm born and raised in Tampa.
Ooh, Tampa
Tampa
native.
Very rare. Very rare that you meet a Tampa native. But this is my city.
She's
I
a
love
unicorn.
Yeah,
I
she
am.
is.
Okay.
So before I got into real estate, I was actually teaching and didn't really work out. I wasn't happy. I was actually very, very depressed teaching. And not because of the industry, just because of where I was in my life. I just felt like I wasn't really fulfilling my purpose in life. And it just felt like I was just going to work. Like I was
You
kind of
was
like
there for
on
the check?
autopilot.
That's the worst. The
And
worst.
so I was just like, what else can I do? And my dad, he's always dabbled in real estate. So I literally went to him like crying, like, I'm miserable. What can I do? And he was like, look, you're from Tampa. You know the area. try real estate. I think you'll be really good at real estate.
Best idea ever.
Best
trying to
idea.
tell
He
you.
paid for me to go to real estate school, everything. He's like,
Salute
just
to
focus
Pops.
on this. I
Yes,
know. Like,
shout out to Pops.
shout out to my
Cheers to
dad.
Yes, let's cheers to Pops for real.
Yeah,
Because
cheers.
look
Cheers
at
to
you.
Pops.
Here's the pops for getting you to something with them
That's
silly
what
little
family
kids.
support
Them
is.
silly
If
little
you
kids.
guys need any plumbing, like you need to hit him
Yeah,
up.
my dad, he owns a plumbing company here in Tampa. He's been in business over 20 years,
What's the
my
name of
whole
the company?
life. Harold's Professional Plumbing Services.
Okay.
So he's an entrepreneur. You know, he has his business and then he owns real estate. So
So this might be in your blood.
Smart man.
it is.
Yeah.
It came naturally to me once I actually passed the class and got working at my first brokerage. I'm not gonna lie, I got discouraged, but I was determined to make this my career. I'm like, I already have come from that dark space. I'm in another career now. Make this work. It's all or nothing. So I honed in. And literally, it's the best decision I ever made. Like,
Best
I
decision
love real
I
estate.
love to
Nice.
hear
Yeah.
these type of stories, especially
Yeah.
like when you was in. I felt like you was in a situation you felt
Yep.
stuck.
Yes.
You know, this is not where you wanted to be. It has nothing to do with the job. It just wasn't for you.
It just wasn't
Yeah.
for me. Nothing. I mean, I love kids, so but it just wasn't my purpose. I feel like, and now I feel like I'm literally living every day.
Mhm. God came
Same.
through Pops. Look at you now, boy.
Yeah.
Listen, I
Best decision I ever
literally,
made.
I literally wake up sometimes like, is this real life? Like, do I really get to do? No, seriously.
Yeah.
And those moments that you share with your clients that become friends, they become family. A lot of my clients have become like, they text me on a daily or we check in and I go visit them. So like, it's cool to see like how those relationships develop, and just that moment at the closing table when you're seeing the happiness on their face when they're the first in their family to even accomplish this.
true.
It's so fulfilling. And that's the reminder. You're like, you know what all
This
that
is what you
stress
do
we
it
went
for.
through, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I
This
definitely
is what
can
you
relate.
live for.
I feel the same way. Like when my clients leave me, like they text me all the time, and like they walk away with that hope, and I just served my community, and I know they get to walk away with like what I just gave them, and so I understand how that go
It's
when I
a
serve
great
my
feeling.
community.
Yes.
I think
It's a
that's
great
a very important thing to have when you do any type of job. If you don't love your job, you're not going to provide that kind of service.
Exactly.
Right.
But when you love what you do, it reflects on the outward, and people just gravitate towards you, and they fuck with you to the highest.
And then it doesn't feel like work.
It never
feels like
feels
your
like
life's
work.
passion. Like it feels like I was born to do this.
Exactly.
It's second nature. It doesn't feel like I'm going to work every day. Like
Although we may work more hours, doesn't feel like it.
I completely
because we can
understand.
make our own schedule too, and that was another driving force. I'm like, I'm the type of person. I'm an air sign. I'm a Gemini. So I don't know if you guys are heavy into astrology.
Aquarius here. I'm an air sign with
Thank
you, girl.
you. We like to be free.
Yes.
I don't like to be confined.
No. I'm sorry, I got high. See, you preaching to the choir.
I'm speaking to the choir. We like to be free. I cannot be confined to Monday through this and 8 a.m. to that. I literally was depressed.
I'm a Libra. I'm just a rebel. I don't like
You're
being
an air
told.
sign too, though.
I just don't like being told what to do and when to do
Yeah.
it.
Do y'all
So,
really
like,
buy into the whole?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yo,
Let's not even like.
That's a whole nother topic.
That's a
We
whole
are
nother
not
topic.
even going to dive into that.
But this is funny. We're all three air signs.
We're all three air signs.
wonder.
That's why we vibe so well, guys.
I love
That's
it.
exactly
We need
why.
to cheers to
Cheers
that.
to
Cheers
that.
to all the
I'm
air
gonna cheers
signs.
to
Are you an air
don't.
sign before
What's
you?
your sign?
What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, he's a water sign. Emotional ass.
I don't know about
My
these
ex was a
Scorpios.
Scorpio.
Salute to him. He probably did nothing wrong his whole career. But anyways,
Whoa.
Okay, we're just going to get back on topic here, guys. So, inspiring you guys' stories are, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that have this similar stories in their own situation. What can you advise someone that was also interested in becoming a real estate agent, overcoming, the challenges, what to expect, and so on, in the best way you can describe?
My advice is just go for it. My advice is to take a risk on yourself. The reason why I went for it, I was at a point in my life, I like to take calculated risk, right? I looked at my income and I looked at my cost of living, and I'm like, okay, I have enough money to get me through like a year. And so that right there eliminated the stress of money. I don't think you should ever be stressed about money. The minute that you're stressed about money is the minute that money does not come in. That's my theory.
Oof,
Okay?
girl, yes.
So this whole time, I think I attribute my success in real estate to not worrying about the money and just worrying about the work.
Right.
And so yeah, my best advice is to just take a risk. Take a risk, but a calculated risk.
Just don't jump in there without any plan.
Yes, jump in there
Right.
with a plan. Yeah.
Definitely have a plan. Bet on yourself. You can never lose when you bet on yourself. So if you're thinking about quitting that, nothing wrong, and believe me, nothing wrong with a 9 to 5.
There's nothing wrong with a 9 to
because
5.
people are making amazing money and they're
Exactly.
happy, and that's fine.
I think social media and all
Has-
that.
yeah.
social media has, because everybody is not meant to be an entrepreneur.
No.
Like
No,
if
not
you're
at
not
all.
organized,
It's not
Exactly.
and
easy.
focused,
And
you're
you
not
have
gonna make
to
no money.
Not at all.
And there's different types of people. You have to assess what kind of person you are. Are you a person that appreciates stability? Because I'm okay with the risk. I'm okay with fluctuating income. But some people, like, that will literally drive you to stress to the ground.
Yeah.
And if you're one of those people, then it sounds like a 9 to 5 might be best for you. So
Yeah.
you really have to know yourself as a person to really know if real estate, or if jumping into real estate as a career is best for you.
Yeah.
So
I advise people who are looking to get into it, talk to a realtor who's actually producing, not a part-time realtor,
not a part-time
a
realtor.
full-time realtor, because there's a difference.
There's a big
Part-time
difference.
realtors, nothing wrong with that, but they're probably not doing as much volume, and they're not as involved. This isn't their
Exactly.
career. So
Yeah.
talk to somebody who's actually doing it full-time.
That
and
bread
see-
and butter.
Right. That's all they do. That's how they make their money. And see what they're doing and how has it worked for them, and then determine if that's going to be something that will work for you.
Are they able to intern? If someone is able to intern for something like that, to
You
see a
can-
day
there's
of the life.
definitely mentorship.
Yeah, there's mentorship, there's
Absolutely.
internships, there's
I never
a whole
knew
bunch
that.
of
You can
things
shadow a
out there.
realtor.
Yeah.
There's definitely.
There's like assistant roles. You maybe it's good for you to join a team.
Yeah.
Right.
I do have a question then. Okay, because what you just said. What questions should a buyer ask their agent to verify pretty much that they're legit, like agents?
So I think, especially now, we're heavy on social media, right?
Okay.
I would see how a buyer's agent, if you're a buyer looking for an agent, how are they marketing themselves? How are they communicating to people? What are they putting out? Because you want to work with a agent who's knowledgeable.
Do you judge them by their follower count then? Though?
No, not necessarily. Absolutely not. It's about the content that they're putting out.
Okay.
And it's about the knowledge that they have. You want to work
Exactly.
with a realtor that's knowledgeable. So maybe they're not, maybe they don't have 1 million followers on Instagram, but they have some good content, and you can, look
That makes sense.
Right.
And I
get
want to
it.
take it even a step further.
Okay.
You want to work with someone that's like yourself. Because you want to work with someone that's going to speak your language, be able to break down the process and make it so that you understand it without making you feel dumb.
So pretty much, you both would recommend to go with someone that you feel comfortable with, because
Someone that's gonna be on your
Exactly.
team.
because you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Exactly.
'Cause I can approach and ask, or I think I'm asking all the right questions, but I personally think it should be up to the agent to, if I'm not asking the right things because I have lack of
Guides,
knowledge,
yeah.
give me the guidance, lead me to help me. I don't
Lead
know.
you to the water.
Absolutely. You
There you
don't
go.
know
Lead me
what
to
you
the water
don't
hole.
know. So
Exactly.
you definitely want an agent who is on point, super knowledgeable about the current market trends, somebody that can guide you. You don't need an agent who is waiting on you. Like, you need an agent that's a go-getter. Because people get discouraged, right? We
Exactly.
meet buyers all the time, and it's not because they can't afford to buy, or they don't
Yeah.
want to. They just got discouraged. This seems like it's such a big goal,
Right.
and it's unattainable. So you need an agent who's going to be your cheerleader. So maybe you didn't respond to me yesterday, but I'm gonna call you again today. Hey, checking in, everything okay?
Is there too aggressive?
No, you need somebody that's gonna light the fire under your butt.
Yeah.
Not somebody that's gonna
Be your
be
cheerleader.
aggressive, but
Right.
someone that's gonna light the fire. Someone that's gonna see it in you that you're getting scared, and I'm
Right.
not gonna let you get scared. I'm gonna push you out of your comfort zone. You're running away because you're scared of home ownership. You think this is too big for you, but it's just a new territory. So I'm gonna push you and remind you that you can do this. I'm gonna remind you that you're in the perfect position to do this and
need a
empower you with
motivator.
information.
As a realtor, we have to be motivators as well. That's literally a part of the
Yeah,
job.
it's part of the job. Therapist,
'Cause people-
motivator.
yeah.
You guys
People
have
get
many
discouraged.
hats.
You wear many hats. We
I
do
like
wear
that.
many hats, so we have to make sure. And it's a people's business, right?
It is.
So you have to know how to communicate. You have to know how to work with people. So
Different types of people.
right? All different types.
Personally, have you guys ever ran into a client that you really honestly just didn't like personally, but you still want to do right by them because you guys are professionals? Or you women are professionals.
I mean, of
It's
course.
like-
I'm
it's
not
like,
gonna
make you cringe a
pretend
little bit.
like everything has been
She
perfect,
took that
right?
sip. She ready?
Yeah, people are people. You're not gonna
Yeah.
get along with everybody, right?
Absolutely.
But that's again, you have to be adaptable and always professional. And maybe the client is a little bit difficult, but there's a goal at the end of the tunnel. I gotta either sell their home or I gotta get them into a home. So when you focus on the goal, whatever issues personality wise they have going on, that doesn't even matter because I'm gonna get you where you need to be.
You focus on the obstacle and you find the resolution.
Exactly. It's real estate. Being a realtor is very solution based. You came to
Very
me with a problem, I'm gonna
solution-based.
find you a solution. You gotta sell, you gotta buy. That's the problem. I am going to find the solution for you.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the goal.
I mean, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, but it's
Right.
not.
It's not easy.
And
It's not easy.
I want to also bring it to your attention that it is possible to fire a client. Sometimes you have
flipping
to
the
fire a
roles.
client. You know what I mean? I think that the way that the world has put it, it's almost put it into the client's hands, making them feel like, oh, well, without me, you're not gonna make commit. Okay, it's not about the commission for all of us. Okay,
Right.
some of us are truly in the business of really helping people.
Right,
so the
right.
commission means nothing to me. So you giving me a hard time, you making my life stressful, you not wanting to cooperate, sometimes it's not worth it. And sometimes it just means that, hey, I don't think we're a good fit for each other. However, I am gonna recommend another person that I think you may mesh well with.
Have you had to do that before?
I have had to I won't say fire. I
Yeah.
have had to break up with a client before.
Because it's a
And-
relationship.
I mean, as long as she puts
Well,
it that way, she was very
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, no, we had to break up. We had to break up because we just weren't on the same page.
But
I've
the way
had
you
that happen
approach it
too.
is good. I love the way
Yeah.
you approach it. It's always about how you address it and the words that you
Exactly.
choose. Like, this is just not working out for the both of us. And you
Exactly.
gave them another route,
Exactly.
and they probably were successful or not. Who knows today? But I think
Oh, he
that's
closed
awesome.
on a house like a month later.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out. Like I've had to let go of a client. I've had a client let me go.
Right. Yeah,
it
that
happens.
too.
It's
Because it's all about like you have to work well together. Sometimes it's truly not a match because like I said, you have to work with people that are like yourself. So sometimes the way I communicate, my communication style may not be something that you receive well. Your
Right.
love language, your communication, I don't know, your communication love language might be different. Maybe I like texting, but you like talking. Maybe I send emails, but you like text. You know what I mean? A lot, sometimes like, you have to really understand your realtor, and the realtor has to understand the client in order for it to be a partnership, because it's a partnership. We're
It's
going to work
definitely a
together
partnership.
to get you to the closing table.
That makes sense.
And I feel like that's very important, that partnership, because everyone has to be. I feel like I would like someone on my team for some big chapter like that, because not like you
Yes.
said, not all the generations in the family are able to make
Exactly.
that step. So once the first family member that does make that step, it's a big deal. You want someone that's on your team. So our next question for you ladies is like, once that relationship is established, like what is the first step in buying the home?
get pre-approved.
Beyond establishing the relationship, without getting pre-approved, you don't
can't do
know your
anything.
purchase power. It's important to know your purchase power, because without knowing your purchase power, you're window shopping. Because
Absolutely.
you're setting yourself up. You're gonna start looking at these homes that are way out of your price range, and then you're gonna get a sad, oh no, boo boo, we can't.
At the same time, though, I think it's important for buyers and sellers to understand that this is our business, right? So if you're coming to me and you want me to do a service for you, which is find you a home, you have to uphold your end of the bargain as well and get pre-approved, because for me in my time, I cannot go and show you a home if I don't know how much you can
Exactly.
afford.
Transparency.
It's a way of showing that you're serious about the process.
Right.
It's literally the next step to show a realtor that you're serious and you're committed to the process.
No, that makes sense.
Absolutely. So
That definitely-
otherwise we're shopping blindly. So get pre-approved. That's number one.
Talk to
a
an
good
agent.
lender.
Talk to an agent and get pre-approved.
Are-
Next.
You did mention you said purchase power. I do like that term. And
Purchase power,
So
yeah.
know your purchase power.
Know your purchase power.
Okay. So I guess with that being said, I guess how much would a person need, or what's probably maybe the preferred amount of money a person needs for a down payment?
It depends on the type of loan.
There's no preferred amount of money, right? Because the way that real estate is really personalized. Every person has a different like financial profile. No two people are alike. Your debt to income ratio from your credit score, from everything is different. So when lenders put that all together and they do an analysis to determine, okay, what's the best loan program for you? What's the best interest rate for you? What's the best loan program for you? And so no two people are alike. It's very hard to kind of like pinpoint it to a certain amount of money. What I can tell you is the kind of like the entryway to home ownership for first time homeowners is a FHA loan. That's kind of like it has very loose criteria.
And that stands for
Lower
No,
credit score.
FHA stands for, just for people that don't know, that may not know.
Hold on, let me Google it real quick.
It stands for
It's federal housing
authority.
Yeah,
Out there in the audience.
Federal Housing Authority.
We say it all day long.
We say it all day
It's
long,
second
but then,
nature,
like,
but actually break it down.
Yeah, I have to think a little harder. Yeah, but it's federal housing something.
Okay, so let's say, all right,
Association?
No, I think
Okay.
it might be authority or something.
I'm gonna look it up, guys.
Yes, do that.
okay, so I guess like you said, it goes to person to person. So someone literally could come with, let's say, just
Federal Housing Administration.
Administration. Close.
Nice.
One of them
We were
goddamn
close.
names.
Okay.
Either way, we know what it do.
right, yeah, right, exactly. As long as you know what it is.
It's a type of loan to purchase a home.
Yes.
Correct.
One.
All right, so because there is no set amount or that, okay, I think there has to be a limit.
Well, look.
There's no
by
set
case
amount.
scenario.
So with FHA, there is like a bare minimum, right? So with FHA, what it is, it's a loan program that allows you to get a home with as little as 3.5% down, with a lower entryway, with like you could have a higher debt to income ratio, and
You could
as
have a
low
lower
as
credit score as
as low as a 580 credit score.
Okay, so a person, I can't show up with like 1,200 and an 8-ball and expect to get a home.
An 8-ball.
Yeah, just I don't try to use leverage. No, not gonna work.
Well, okay.
You need real money, so you need that 3.5% down payment to get you started on your way.
All right, so at least 3%.
So for the
At
credit
least
score,
3.5%.
580
Okay,
for the
3.5%.
FHA, the lowest.
Some lenders don't take as low as that. It
But
just
like with a
depends.
580, it might bump you up on the percentage. You might have to put 10% down if you have a 580 with a FHA loan. You can get the FHA loan with the 580, but you're gonna have to go from 3.5% to 10%. So with the credit score, the reason why banks change the amount is they are assessing you as a borrower based on your credit score. So a lower credit scores mean you're a riskier buyer. Because you're a riskier buyer, I want you to have more skin in the game. Just because if you have more skin in the game, you're less likely to default on the loan.
They need that security.
Exactly.
Not a liability.
Exactly. So it's kind of like their security deposit. Like, the more money you have in, the less if you have like hundreds of thousands in a home, you're less likely to just let it go to foreclosure.
Right.
What would be the average credit score one would need to buy a home? Not including just an average person to have.
At least a 620.
I would say the lowest, like you said, is 580, but
580?
you would want at least a 620 to get a better
580
interest rate.
is like the bare minimum. We're gonna have to you're gonna have to put more money down. It's gonna be tight. I've made it happen with one of my clients. It took us forever to close. However,
It's more stressful. Get your
exactly,
credit up.
Exactly.
I stress that
you
to
probably-
your buyers. Get your credit up. You want the highest credit possible.
Yes, because they wouldn't even
Exactly.
look your way. I couldn't even listen. I had a hard time renting a house with a low credit
Credit
score
is
in the
important.
five.
Yeah, it just
My
is.
credit score used to
Exactly.
be in the 530s 2 years ago, and renting a house was horrible. I can only imagine buying a home with that type of
Yeah.
credit score. Like people don't even want to look my way. It was a little embarrassing. It was a really tough moment. It was a moment in life that you realize, like, you reflect back.
Yeah.
And realize that you have to like secure your package, make that
Exactly.
package look good, because if
Get
that
your
package
shit
don't look
together.
good,
I say that.
you can't pay to. You gotta pay to play, guys. You gotta
You have
pay to play.
Get your credit score and save. Have some money in reserve
Exactly.
for down payment,
closing
costs. Now with realtors like us, we might be able to negotiate a little something for you so that you can have some closing cost assistance.
Because
But always have some skin in the game. You want a nest egg.
because you guys mentioned your credit score, I guess it wouldn't be smart to buy a vehicle
Absolutely
before.
not.
If you're looking to get a home, do not.
If you're looking to get a home, you should, like, within the next 6 months, you should stop. Don't apply for new credit. Try not to spend large amounts of money. Don't try to get a new car. You need to stay low key. Like, you got food at the house.
You got y'all need to be cooking, no going out, splurging at the mall, running up that.
You just need to be responsible.
Especially too before and after you go into contract, because people go into contract, then all of a sudden they done bought a new car. That's gonna mess you up.
So
Do not do that.
I like to do this analogy. You need to be the same person. So from the day that you got your pre-approval, when you were Joe Schmo with the Toyota, you need to be that same Joe Schmo all the way to the closing table. You can't come to the closing table and be Joe Schmo with a Ferrari.
Pulling up in your Jag, right? Get that
Like,
anchor. Get your keys to your house
yes,
first.
you need to be the same Joe Schmo with a Toyota at the end of the process, because if you suddenly pop up with a Ferrari, then it's like, whoa, you're not the same person. We need to reassess.
Yes, I also need to reassess Joe Schmo. What happened between Toyota, Corolla, and Ferrari?
Also, if you have mattress money, there's something called, you need to season your money. So if you have mattress money and you plan on buying a home soon, you need to be depositing it at the bank ASAP.
It needs to sit.
Because it needs to be in your bank account for at least 3 months if you're going to be financing. If you're buying full out cash, it doesn't matter, right? But if you're going to be financing, the bank wants to see it in your account for at least 3 months. It's called seasoning the money.
Ooh, that is
that
good
makes
to
sense.
know. I'm glad you brought that up. That's very important because a lot of people
Because I know
don't have
everybody
banks.
have mattress money.
Yeah, because they don't trust the banks.
People don't trust banks.
Exactly.
But if you're paying about the house, you better trust the bank then, and then
You better
close it
trust
once
the
you're
bank.
done.
Unless you do it all cash, then
Right.
it's all
Unless you
good.
do it all cash,
Oh,
then
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
I'm not one of them people, guys.
So you
Everyone would
better,
love to be a
season
cash
that
buyer.
money, Jessica.
That money need to be
Yeah.
seasoned.
Season it. Add some lemon, pepper,
A little adobo,
Jamaican jerk.
So once we go through these hurdles, we went to find our perfect agent.
You got pre-approved.
We got pre-approved. We started discussing, what my case would be.
Yeah.
Say my case. I'm Joe Schmo. This is my case scenario. This is how much I'm working with. How many houses should one view before purchasing one?
Literally.
So that's kind of loaded, though.
Exactly.
It's
It's
not
a loaded
It's
question.
one of the
It
questions.
is. Because for me, I like to have my consultation with my buyers and hone in exactly what you guys are looking for, so that we're not over in St. Pete and then now we over in Plant City and now we over. First of all, we're going to talk about location, because that alleviates looking at multiple
Location
different
is
types of
everything.
homes
It's going to
and
help you be
locations.
less confused.
Right, and it's only beneficial for the buyer
Yes.
that we narrow it down. Not because I don't feel like driving. No, it's because you won't be confused. Let's talk about lifestyle. Let's talk about property style.
Exactly.
Let's talk about location, so that when it is time to go out and look at homes, we're going to execute. We're going to find you a home the first time we go out looking. That's always my goal.
Yeah.
And so a good rule of thumb for me, I don't like to overwhelm my buyers. So if I'm taking you out, I like to narrow it down to
To
3 to
top 3.
5. I might go to 5, maybe circumstances, but definitely 3. And then if you can't make a decision off of the 3, let's reevaluate.
Exactly.
Because that means there's something off.
Do people look to y'all to pretty much choose for them?
No.
Necessarily.
Yes and no. So, and Colony said something that's key. People think that home buying is just about finding a home and finding the perfect home, but no, it's actually deeper than that. You have to evaluate
It's
your
lifestyle.
lifestyle. You have to evaluate, are you an entertainer? Do you like to go out a lot? Because you need to make sure that your home is comfortable for your lifestyle. You need to make sure that if you like entertaining, maybe you want to find an open floor plan. You want to be able to see your guests as you're in the kitchen, right? Or maybe if you got a lot of children, you want to get a split floor plan because you want to put the kids on the other side so that you have your peace of mind when you're home.
Or you
so
might
like
need a flex
these are all
space
things
or a
that we
large
talk about
backyard.
when you're ready to shop. Because when you're ready to shop, we have deep conversations to understand your lifestyle. What's the next step? What do the next 3 to 5 years look like for you? Because you don't want to buy a house for now, but you want to buy a house for you in 3 to 5 years, because the likely likelihood of you being in that home is at least for a good 3 years. So if you in 3 years you're gonna have another child, you need to make sure there's a bedroom for that other child.
Plan it out. You're not buying a T-shirt at Macy's.
No.
Like, you're buying a home. This is the largest transaction that you're ever probably going to purchase in your life. So you want to make sure you execute it the right way first. And so that's why it's important
It's
to
deep,
take
y'all.
time. You have to take
You have
time,
to take time.
and know your buyer's needs, because you don't want to blindly shop. You're not going to do anybody any good if we're just out looking at homes. And anybody who's looking to get into real estate, I'm gonna look at the camera, do not be a tour guide for buyers.
No.
You have to respect your time, because buyers
Right.
will call you, hey, I have some time today, it's Saturday, let's go take a look at 10 homes.
You can't.
No,
You can't
I'm
look at
not a tour
random
guide. I'm not a
homes.
taxi. I'm not an Uber driver. We're not going to be doing that all day long. We're going to find you a home with purpose, not to just
Exactly.
tour neighborhoods.
I feel like you should know what you want at that stage of life.
But
I
you'll be
think.
surprised.
Some people don't.
Many people don't know what they want. You have to truly
Yeah.
you have to truly know who you are as a person and where your life is headed.
You might know, Jessica.
I have an idea.
I think because
But everybody don't.
yeah, because you have an idea you think other people would, but no.
I think of it like, would you drive to a restaurant you've never been in and not look at the directions, just drive, and hopefully you get there? I mean, you need to
Some
know where
people
you're
might.
going. You need to know
Some
where
people
you're
might.
going.
To me, that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
So do people
Right.
describe their homes to you and you kind of find it? Because, like, for example, I kind of want to, my house needs to have, my walls need a 360 and my bathtub need to lift up. I need stuff that the government got.
So we have to evaluate where you are at in the process. If you're sometimes if you're a first time home buyer and we're working with like a first time home buyer starter budget, we need to shop for that, right? And we need to look at the foundation of
All right, let me
we
top
need to
every-
look at the
top everybody
foundation
off.
of the home.
Pause.
Your first home your first home should be all about your first home gets you into your second home. You can't look at your first home like a dream home.
It's not your forever home.
It's not your
typically.
forever home.
No.
Your first home is what helps you build the funds to get to that second home. Your
see.
first home, when you sell that, it's going to give you the equity. It's going to give you the money, the funds to get to your dream home, right? So when you look at your first home, you want to make sure it has a good foundation for you and for your lifestyle. And that's how you evaluate it. First home, I don't advise looking at purely cosmetics unless you're willing to pay for all the bells and whistles, which sometimes doesn't make sense as a first home. You need to look at the foundation, and as for anything that can change, if there's enough space for you to put a tub in, then what are we talking about? If the cabinets are white but you want them gray, what are we talking about?
I want to pull the book off the bookshelf and everything, like chandeliers drop down and
Like
the-
Addams
you need,
Family?
then you need
Just
to
like
do
that.
that when you
Goodbye.
buy the house.
After, right. So I advise clients too, get in the house, right?
Yeah.
And make all of your upgrades after. You own it. You can
Exactly.
do whatever you want to do after the fact. But let's get you in this house first.
And
Makes
also,
sense.
you making the upgrades is what's gonna make your home different from other homes, and it's gonna make someone else love the home even more.
When it's time
So
to
like
sell.
Yeah.
You're only adding
you
value.
personalizing the home makes it even better when it's time to sell.
Makes sense.
How long can the seller take to respond to someone's offer?
It depends on what you write in the contract,
They
and
can-
it depends on the market.
And
kind
they
of,
can
too.
also not respond at all.
Yeah,
Ooh.
they have the right to not
By
respond.
like law, and they're good with that, and that's just
There's not a law that
There's
says
nothing
they have to
binding you to that.
respond. No,
That- I guess
you
that
make
makes
an
sense.
offer. If they don't like your offer, if they feel disrespected by your offer, sometimes they don't respond at all.
So that's basically your offer being rejected.
Exactly.
So what will one do if their offer is rejected?
You move on.
Move on.
Definitely.
Either
to
move
the
on or
next.
you come up with a better offer.
I see.
If they haven't accepted another offer already.
Right. If they haven't accepted another offer.
Ooh, it's a crazy world. It's a
girl.
dangerous.
Well, I do-
Like you say, you gotta pay to play.
You gotta pay to
Yeah.
play. You can't take things personal because
And
you'll
when
get
it's
hurt
a
out here.
competitive market, like the market that we're in right now, is very competitive with buyers. We're in a seller's market. So there isn't a lot of inventory right now. So a lot of buyers are looking at one house.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, what's the difference between a buyer's market and a seller's market?
Oh, perfect. Great
yeah,
question.
that's a great question. So it's kind of the opposite. So when it's in a buyer's market, that means there's a lot of supply.
Okay.
So buyers have more leverage over sellers. Right now, it's a seller's market. It's not a lot of inventory out there.
And lots
So
of
sellers
buyers.
now are getting top dollar potentially for their home, and they're getting multiple offers. They're getting highest and best. They're getting people offering, $30,000 over
100K over
price
asking.
just to get something accepted, because at this point that buyers may be a little bit more desperate to get this home because they know it's a lot of competition. So they want to make the best offer possible. So they're offering way over asking price. They're waiving contingencies. They're doing a lot.
This how Nino
So-
Brown took over the Carter.
And you said Tampa's in a seller's market.
Yes.
Right now.
Right now.
Currently a seller's
What do
market.
what I have to ask, what do you think why Tampa's in a seller's market right now?
Why not? So Tampa is
I love it. Why not?
We are like why not? Tampa is right now. It's not even Tampa. It's Champa.
Tampa Bay.
It's Tampa Bay.
Was
We
the lighting
are-
just one?
so-
but
Come on, you just got here. She can salute. You just got
But
here.
no,
I'm playing.
Tampa
I've
native,
been
baby.
here. I've been here to see all the growth. Okay.
You a Tampa native. Don't be listening
But
to
You
the
grandfather
crowd.
Listen, I'm
in.
You
grandfathered.
grandfather. We grandfather in,
got it.
y'all.
My
You
sis
grandfather
said.
is.
My sis says I'm
I
grandfather.
let her in.
And I believe y'all got it. Y'all
I'm
got
Tampa
it.
native by association.
Facts. All facts. I
But
agree.
no, to answer your question, there's so much going on into Tampa. Like, there's so much going on in Tampa. Beyond us being champions in every sport,
Every sport.
there's literally so many different projects to make Tampa a live, work, and play lifestyle. So you have
Midtown, Water
you have
Street.
Midtown, the Water Street project. You have the West Shore Marina District. You
Yes.
so much money is being poured into making Tampa the next Miami, and I promise you, it's gonna be a little better than Miami.
I'm trying to tell you because
I
there's
can-
Tampa.
there's
I-
space down. There's
Like-
space
I
here.
agree.
And also, don't like there's like don't clog up the traffic though. We don't like
The
that.
traffic is
Like,
already bad.
Our
I feel like
traffic
the traffic's
is,
getting
but
worse.
our traffic is like decent for the
It's
size.
for right
not that
now.
bad.
It's really
for
not
right
that
now.
bad.
For right now.
You need to go to Atlanta and experience
Oh,
that traffic.
I have
I
been
think
there
it's because
too.
we're
That's
organized
to
terrible.
city,
appreciate.
though.
Yeah,
Horrible.
I
We
love
have
our
our
city.
crosstown.
Yes.
You
we
go
have our veterans.
when I go to New York and I come back to Tampa, I like literally take a breath of fresh air
Ah.
and then I smile because
First of all,
like
the air is cleaner
the
here.
air is clean, the streets are clean, the people are smiling. You're like, oh, I'm home.
I don't really
Yeah.
notice traffic. I mean, I work from home, so I don't really notice traffic. I don't
Okay,
do
so
much
you-
driving.
It's
not-
really.
It's not that
That
bad, but you can
bad.
tell
Bad.
an increase in traffic from 1999 to 2021.
Yeah, there's been an
Yeah.
because she got here in '99.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
it's definitely. I just say that
You
because
were-
that's
you
when
were
I got
zooming through
here.
the streets
I'm
before.
also grandfather in, guys. I just also seen the city grow, and I am so happy to see it where it's at today.
and it's still growing.
And especially for people who are entrepreneurs, creatives, I feel like it's a perfect time for us to grow with our city and put our city on the
Absolutely.
map. So it's very exciting to see, and it's very exciting to either meet people or know people growing as well. So it's just such a beautiful thing.
A lot of people
Becoming.
start their businesses here.
It's
This
the
is like a
perfect
startup
place.
hub. Mhm.
It's the perfect place for startups. And you know why? And it's because unlike Miami, unlike New York, Tampa is not saturated with a whole bunch of like businesses, right? So if you have a brilliant idea that's different, this is the perfect
great
city to
city.
get it started because you
started.
get it started, and if it's like good enough, everyone supports, literally, because there isn't a lot like it. As opposed to when you go to New York, try starting a business in New York. Let me know how that goes.
A million people doing it already.
Okay. Question that we did have for you. What are the things to look for when you're looking for a property to flip and make a profit?
The numbers. Before you can.
What do you mean the numbers? The numbers on what?
So when you're looking at flipping a property, you're looking at more than just like. You're looking at more than just making a property pretty. You need to make sure the numbers make sense, because when you're flipping a property, you now have higher taxes because you're not keeping that property. You're not buying and holding. So you're going to have to pay like capital gains taxes on that money. So you need to make sure you're making enough money so that after you pay your taxes, you still have money left over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why first you have to understand numbers. You have to have a good team in place, and you have to kind of good team in place, know your numbers, and know the market.
The team is definitely important too, because when you're working on a flip project, you have deadlines, right? Because you don't want to sit on this home. You want to get this thing sold.
Exactly.
So you want to definitely have your team of contractors in line to make sure that they're on point with meeting that deadline. Because then if you got a goal of 6 months, this home need to be done. It need to be done in 6 months. Otherwise, you only wasting money. The goal is to
The
flip
longer
it.
you take,
Yeah.
the more
Right.
money you're paying out of pocket. Because most of the
Exactly.
time with flip projects, you're using a hard money loan. And for every month that you're sitting on this loan, you're paying interest. You're paying
And
interest.
that interest is high
It's-
on hard
and
money
then
loans.
with hard money loans, you have a balloon payment that's coming up. And balloon payment means the whole amount is due.
And or what?
You said what?
Or what? Like if you don't, if
You're gonna
it's, if
default on the
You're-
loan.
Yeah, they take it. Then it's no longer your
It gets
property.
spicy.
Yeah.
It's no longer
Yeah.
yours.
You don't want to find out.
That's like with anything.
come
If you don't
strong
pay,
guys.
If
what's
you don't
gonna happen?
pay, you can't have it.
Yeah,
You
no,
gonna lose it.
absolutely not. You ladies have been full of knowledge, providing us so much information. I want to end the night with this last question for people who are still obtaining this information and are still fearful. So what is your recommendation for people who are thinking about looking for a home and making the reason why they should wait because of whatever reason that they have? Like, what is your recommendation for those people who just stall on doing this when they know that they can do this?
For me, I want to always encourage people. You can do it. Don't get discouraged by the numbers or just thinking home ownership is so far away. It could be as little as a month away from you if you start the process. So always stay motivated. Don't get discouraged. And if you are right now, this market is very, very competitive. So if we're talking about this market right now and you're looking to buy, if you don't have funds, I would say wait it out, save as much as you can, because in this market, you want to
gotta
come
find a way.
with your closing costs. There's not a lot of people who are going to offer closing cost assistance. You need your down payment. You have to be competitive with your offers. So save as much as you can, work on your credit. If you are in a good financial place and you got money in the bank, you got your job secured, credit good, buy. Why wait? There's just buy.
So
does having street credit count at all for anything?
Oh my goodness.
What street credit?
No,
Oh,
it
like
I don't know.
like
just
you good in the
curious. No, it
hood?
doesn't work. Okay, I was just wondering. I
Auntie
didn't know.
said he good. Auntie said he good.
street credit can't buy you no home.
I didn't know. You never know what people might ask. I don't know.
don't
Somebody might
think
walk in
so.
like, I got street credit. I'm good, and really didn't.
I'm good
I
in
don't
the
know.
hood.
You're right.
Yeah,
So
that's
that
the
doesn't-
only
Dap you
place you're
up,
gonna
be
be
like,
good.
cool.
Yeah, that's the only place you're
just
gonna be
asking.
good. But no, my advice is what's for you is for you. It may not come at the same time as it did for your friend, but it's gonna come for you at the time that is right for you. So my advice is just start. Just start. Starting is just simple as reaching out to a realtor and getting that conversation started, understanding where you stand and what work you need to do to get to where you need to be.
So you guys, you can do this.
You can do it.
You can do
Stay
this.
I feel empowered.
encouraged.
You
Yeah.
feel empowered? Let's buy a house.
Real
Gain
estate
any
is
information?
empowering.
I gain a whole lot of information. I gain a whole lot.
Do you think your street creds will get you far?
You know what? Like I told you, I do work from home. I'm in the sales. You know, I have products here and there, but you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely gonna start looking at different other things and incorporate all the things you guys have taught me tonight, and I'm gonna incorporate that in my own business. I think I could be the next Nino Brown.
We almost
Oh,
forgot.
God.
I wanted you to ask that question. That I feel like that the question that he's about to ask is very important. I know it's about to end the night, but I just want to get this one through because
Yes.
it's what we're dealing with today.
So I did have a question for you, both of you. How do you guys feel? How difficult is it, or the benefits even, from being a woman, and not just a woman, but women of color in the real estate business?
I definitely think, I guess as far as it being difficult, for me, first of all, this is a male dominant industry.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am. I can imagine.
And so, of course, you might walk into a room where nobody looks like you. I know for me, my last brokerage before Allure, I was the only person of color for a while until Ann
I
came
came.
around. We actually met at
That's where
our
we
last
met.
brokerage.
Oh, you see how the universe aligns.
Right.
Like,
so I was like,
you
oh,
attract your tribe.
okay, she cute. Okay,
Wait, we
we
can be
we need
friends.
to talk because nobody looked like me. I was the only black female there. I was the only black person there. Period.
Yeah.
So, but going into that environment, knowing that you don't really have anybody who looks like you or anybody who you think could relate to you, that messes with you a little bit. But overall, my experience it's been motivation. I see that, okay, this is typically a white male dominated field. But hey, I'm here as well.
Yeah.
I know just as much as
Definitely
you
are.
guys do.
And she's showing up, honey.
Hey.
And I'm going to show up as my best self.
Yeah.
And whoever wants to work with me will work with me. I don't need every buyer in Tampa Bay.
Right.
I just need the one
That
who
are for
is
you.
that's for me. And so that's my approach to it.
I like
I
that.
love
And I
it.
respect that.
I love that. I respect that too.
Anything
I
you wanna
would
add?
say that as a woman of color in this industry, a lot of time we're underestimated until I open up my mouth.
Ooh,
I know that's right.
And that's why I think it's
that
important.
Libra boy.
I think it's important for you to know your shit, because when
Yes.
you know your shit, like you may underestimate me. You may think that, oh, she's a black woman. What does she know about luxury real estate? What does she know about real estate, period? She doesn't know much. But baby, when you know your
Don't
stuff
get it twisted.
and you start talking and you know your stuff, no one can play you.
Yeah.
At that point, you make them uncomfortable. So I've learned the way that I've maneuvered through the industry that is male dominated. That is, that you do walk into rooms that you're not, you're the minority. I learned to walk with my
Head held high.
yeah,
Right.
held high, and just be my best self, and
like
also be the best that I can be, because
And
you
y'all
can't.
both the
Best
way
version of
y'all earned
yourself.
it, and y'all both deserve it.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
And
And
you
exactly.
said something
You
important.
said-
Knowledge is power. Once you know something that's embedded in you, nobody can ever take that away from you. Knowledge. And that's why they didn't want us to have knowledge
And
back
I
in the
think-
day. But that's a
Yeah.
whole other topic, because
They
they know if
fucked
we
up.
had it, we're so powerful. You can never take knowledge away from somebody. So
And you just gotta walk into any place that you go into and walk in like you belong there.
Yep.
And who's gonna tell you you don't?
Facts.
That's it.
I love
Very
it.
true.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
Yeah,
to
let's
that.
cheers
I
to
love
that.
it. I love it. You ladies are so inspiring. I love it. I love your stories. I love what you're doing for the people,
Thank
for
you.
the Tampa Bay area. I like to thank you guys again for coming on the show. This was a big deal, not only for myself, but for
Definitely
Shift
for me as
Division.
well.
Yes.
Thank
and,
you
and
guys
the
for
company as
having
a whole.
us.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
lear-
thank you
I
guys for
personally
having
learned a
us.
lot. I
Yes.
personally learned a lot.
Good.
And honestly, I'm gonna speak to my guys, and I would like to have y'all on for further businesses, but that's off of
So we love business.
Hey, talking
Yeah,
that
we can talk
language.
business.
yeah. y'all definitely provided a lot of knowledge.
It was.
Nice.
Thank you so much for inviting us.
Of course.
We
If-
we
Thank you
love
for joining.
educating. Yeah.
If the audience members would want to follow you, where they can follow you?
Yes. Oh, and actually, we wanted to announce this as well while we
Yes.
have the opportunity. We did touch briefly on our webinars, but Ann and I, we have started doing webinars on how to get into the real estate industry. So anybody who's looking to get into that, we host webinars giving you the step-by-step rundown on what it takes to actually start a real estate career. So we did our first one, I think maybe 2 months
And
ago.
Jessica,
I loved it.
how
Oh
did
yeah,
Full
you
information.
Yeah,
I
Jessica was
loved
actually
it.
on there.
I loved it
Yeah.
because it was full information and it wasn't boring. Like you guys
What's
kept
the
up.
name?
It was like a good mixture of girl convo with dropping the knowledge, and I like that because
Yep.
sometimes these webinars you start them and then you're just falling asleep or you're doing something else. So,
So
it was
we
very
like
good.
to keep you guys engaged.
We
Yes.
follow a pretty good format. So we follow like an educational format, and then we open up the floor and we take questions
Right.
to kind of like hey, what did we miss the mark on? What did maybe we missed that
We're
you
always
need
open to
further
feedback.
understanding on?
Okay.
So we had our first webinar, and the replay's gonna be available for purchase, and we plan on having more consistent webinars coming up.
We're planning our next one. So you asked the name. The first one was just titled "How to Become a Real Estate Agent." The next one is a step further, part 2. So you got your real estate license. Now what? So we're gonna give you the step by step on what to do.
So
after
we're breaking
you got
it
your
down.
license.
So like we learn a lot of lessons along the journey, and like now we get like a ton of DMs, and it's honestly impossible for me to like respond to every
Right.
DM with the level of detail that I would want to. So
Makes
the
sense.
best way that we
Understood.
found out how to was by providing this information through a webinar format. And specifically, it's not free, because what I've learned, people, whenever you pay for whenever something's free, you don't value it.
Right.
When you pay your hard-earned money for it, you're gonna
Very
pay
true.
attention. So
Facts.
That is so
Very
true.
true.
That's so true. And knowledge shouldn't be free. If you can spend $50 at the bar, you can spend
You can spend
$50
$50
on
on how to learn how to
Exactly.
make you some more money. So
It's that mindset.
we're gonna if you guys want to follow us, my @name on all social media platforms is Colony Reeves, @ColonyReeves. You can say yours.
And mine is Ann Sophie PF, and it's ANNESOPHIE and the letter PF.
Yes.
I love her. She's so cute,
Yes.
guys.
Hey, do you mind spelling yours out as well?
I'll spell
Because,
mine.
yeah, please do.
You gonna do the same
should,
way?
yeah.
Boop, 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 boop.
I'm not gonna be
Now
as
do
cute
your
as
own
Ann.
thing. Yeah, you got your own thing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, your
So
swag.
mine is at COLONYREEVES.
That's
At Colony
easy.
Reeves. Very simple. It's my first and last name.
Mm-hmm.
So follow us to get updates on when we're going to have our webinar, the playback for purchase, and also when we're going to be hosting our next one, which is very, very soon. We're working on putting it together right now.
Yes.
I'm just putting my trap house together. I can't wait.
Oh,
This is gonna be
okay.
amazing.
With your street credit,
So this is
your
gonna be
street
amazing
hood
for me.
credit.
Like I promise I'm gonna be good out here in the streets. I'm good.
Make sure you guys follow these lovely ladies.
Please do follow
Not
them.
only to support their movement, if you're interested in buying a home or interested in becoming a real estate agent, you definitely want to follow these ladies. They're getting big in what they're doing, and you don't want to miss that wave. You definitely want to. I feel like lately knowledge has been important, and I also past few years been paying a lot of webinars and different things just to learn. So why not? Even if you don't want to become a real estate agent, you just want to watch just to gain the knowledge. Why not?
Why not?
So just go ahead and make sure you follow them. Tune in. Thank you guys for coming, watching. Have any questions or concerns about the real estate game? Reach out to them directly. Don't reach out to me because the bitch don't know. If you want to be on the show, then hit me up. It's your girl Jess at Actor Jessica Lopes on Instagram and Facebook and any other social media platform.
Steve Cash, money bags.
Hey,
I'm out.
love you guys.
Y'all be safe.
We pound grader.